Okay, let's talk about security for a moment for sysops. So it's things you already know, but I have to repeat them, and you need to make sure you know them, obviously, because for the exam they will ask you some questions. So encryption at rest can only be enabled when you first create your database instance. If you remember, I did not enable encryption at rest, and so I won't be able to enable it in the future. You can't just modify your instance and enable encryption at rest. If you wanted to go from an unencrypted database to an encrypted database, you would do the same thing as you would do with EBS volumes. That means you take a snapshot, then the snapshot will also be unencrypted. Then you copy the snapshot and you encrypt it in the process, and now you have an encrypted snapshot, and then you create a database from that encrypted snapshot, and your database will be encrypted. So it's the same as EBS. So in your mind, how to encrypt an RDS database should be the exact same thought process as how do I encrypt EBS. Now, what is your responsibility for RDS? Well, it's to check the ports, the IP, the security groups, inbound rules for your DB security group. So you have to check those, and if it doesn't work, then it's up to you. So make sure you, and that's actually an exam question. So you need to know the ports and the IP for the security groups are correct. Whatever happens in the database is for you. So if you create users or permissions, it's up to you. If you create a database with or without public access, that's also your call. So either you allow access from outside your VPC, or you create access without public access. So it's up to you. Then all the parameter groups, as we've seen, is what you should be configuring yourself. So if you only want to allow SSL connection, then it's up to you to configure that on your database. And what is AWS responsibility? Well, they won't give you any SSH access, so you cannot SSH into your RDS database. You will never be able to do a manual database patching. It's up to Amazon to upgrade your database. You will never actually have to audit the system, the OS. It's Amazon's responsibility to patch it as well. And you can never audit the RDS database. So you cannot run any audit tool or AWS services which allows you to run security analysis against your RDS database. And the exam will trick you into thinking that, but you cannot. RDS is a managed service, and so you really need to understand what is your responsibility, and it's outlined here, versus what Amazon does and never gives you access to. So that's it. It's just a theory lecture, but you need to make sure you know these responsibilities by heart, and I will see you in the next lecture.